All right, thank you for tuning in to another episode, rocking with you here on a Saturday. So nothing really going on in the NBA besides Summer League. The boy Murray, Keegan Murray, and Paulo Banchero, excuse me. I'm looking at this thing where Velvet Jones um played today. They both played pretty well. I don't think you can really glean anything from Summer League killing, like people doing things well in the Summer League. You just want to look at traits and skills. And like I said with Blanchero, the skill that I saw from him is his ability to handle the ball. And he looks like a guy that could be a primary ball handler on the team. At his size, I mean, he's definitely should have been the number one overall pick, in my personal opinion, after watching him play just a couple of games. But we'll see where their careers go. Murray, a lot of people attack the Kings for taking them. I mean, he's a wing. He can shoot it. He has size. The league is going with wings now. They're not going with guards. Everybody wanted them to take Ivy. I don't have a problem with the pick. We'll see. All right, so let's get into some football stuff real quickly. Tyreek Hill says basically Tua's last year to show people what he's got. Of course, duh. First 2 years were rocky. First year, Fitzpatrick outplayed him. They took out Fitzpatrick to let him play. Surprised the team, shocked the team last year, average at best. This year, new team, stacked full of weapons. Offensively, Cedric Wilson, Tyreek Hill, got to tackle Armstead, McDaniel, quarterback-friendly system. So now it's just like, okay. So I think it is his last year. And I just said something that I'm going to say something that's counterintuitive to what I just said. It's a quarterback-friendly system, but as I said with Shanahan's system, when you're talking about quarterbacks struggling in the system like Trey Lance, their initial years, it does take quarterbacks some time to play that way. It's a lot of turning your back to the defense, play action, quick drops. So he might struggle. So I think he's definitely a QB on the hot seat. The Eagles QB, Jalen Hurts, is a QB that's on the hot seat. I think Mac Jones is a QB that's on the hot seat. You know, Mac Jones, people in the media like Bill Simmons, and there's this guy on NFL Network, I forget what his name is. They love Mac Jones, and I just think he's been average. I think he's exactly what most people who were detracting him out of Alabama thought. Average guy. I guess he's gotten himself in shape. Shout out to him. I'm trying to get myself in shape. My Peloton broke. The pedal on my Peloton literally rusted off and broke. Got a replacement pedal. Can't put the replacement in because it's broken. So I need a whole new crank. So that times COVID equals me getting back out of shape again. That's just great. But shout out to Mac Jones for getting in shape. I don't know if that has anything to do with playing the quarterback position, obviously being in better shape, running, mobility, things of that nature. But was it running and mobility that was the issue with him last year? Or was it just that he's a jag, just a guy? So maybe, hey, maybe being in better shape gives him more velocity on his arm. Maybe it makes him more nimble in the pocket. I don't know. The whole situation in New England is kind of crazy. And I'm going to do their good, the bad, the ugliness. Shout out to anybody who watched the Dallas one. Because they don't have an offensive coordinator named. So I don't know. We'll see what's going on with that. But yeah, I think it's definitely a make or break season for him. Lamar Jackson, I don't understand why he has not signed his deal yet. That should be imperative. He should not play another snap without signing his deal. With how aggressive he plays, how aggressive he runs, running quarterbacks don't last. His run game is a focal point to the offense. They traded their first-round receiver in Hollywood Brown away because they don't really throw the ball like that. So if you're the foundation of the run game and the pass game, and you know that running backs don't really have a large shelf life, why are you dilly-dallying with this contract. This contract has to be done. You should not play another snap until this contract is done. And I think he's his own agent. Let me make sure that's correct. Yeah, I think he's his own agent. So I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening with that. But he needs to sign his deal. And again, we'll see if that Deshaun Watson, because they talk about it here, Deshaun Watson was the last quarterback to sign, big name quarterback. Derek Carr signed, but no one puts him in that top tier stratosphere where Lamar Jackson won an MVP. No one puts Derek Carr, and well, they might after this season, because this is the best set of weapons he's ever played with, but that's another story for another day. But will he get 230 million over 5 years fully guaranteed? No. You'd have to be crazy to do that. You have to be crazy to do that. Once again, a running quarterback who one hit away from his whole trajectory being changed. Velvis Jones, don't know who this is, but he's a 25-year-old rookie wide receiver. And shout out to my guys again. I remember when I was in college and we were watching this, when I first started watching the NFL draft, and there was a boy named Quentin Jammer. I think I told this story already, but Quentin Jammer, press coverage jam. His name said Jammer. He was a big corner. He was like 6'1", 4'2", not 4'2", or like a 4'3", 40, right? It was him, the boy Tinu, who was 24 at the time when he got drafted, Tinu. And then there was True Fees. Shout out to my man NYK. Best feet ever. So the three of them get drafted in the same draft. And I remember thinking at the time, I would obviously have taken Jammer first because of his size and his measurables. Then I probably would have taken True Fees. Then I would take Terrence Newman because he's 24 years old already. Terrence Newman ends up having a 14-year career. Quentin Jammer, I don't think makes it to a second contract. I think Trufant, he got a deal, but it was a small deal. Terrence Newman is a 14-year veteran in the NFL. Plays till he's 38. So, people are making fun of this boy because he's 25, but at the end of the day, who knows? He might outlast a lot of receivers who are 21, 22 right now. So we'll see. It is a lot, but I would say, if you put the pandemic seasons and all the type of stuff, Lamar Jackson says he's gained muscle. He has. I mean, there was a picture of him where he was on Instagram. I told you this is everybody showing bodies like Instagram thotties. And it's that time of year. Let's see, Lamar Jackson photo. He showed this pen and he was looking yoked. Yeah, the off-season photo. Let's see if they show it. Yeah, look at you see this man. He looking diesel. He came in the league as a string bean. He's looking diesel now. So this might be hot scotching back to the NBA. Hopefully this boy Chet Holmgren hits him up and said, bro, what are you on? I need to follow that same dietary program. He looking diesel. So good for him. He gained some weight the year before and he's gained some weight again. Because I remember looking at him, I was like, man, he's too thin. So NBA, same old nothing, man. I've stopped refreshing Woj and Shams every minute on the minute because it don't look like it's gonna happen anytime soon. LeBron was at the Lakers game last night, and Russell Westbrook was at the other side of the arena. A lot of people speculated, oh, what does this mean? There's some guys with blue check marks saying that the trade is already done, and they're just waiting for the Kevin Durant trade to happen. But again, I think time is of the essence with the Kevin Durant trade. I don't think that they can slow play it the way that Philadelphia slow played the Ben Simmons trade, because the Ben Simmons trade, he asked for a trade. They didn't like any of the offers. The season was starting, and Philadelphia at one point was the number one seed in the East. So they were like, hey, what's the rush? We're want to be a contender. And if we trade you for less than market value, then less than your intrinsic value, we're not going to be contenders anymore. That was their thesis. So why rush the trade anyway? Like, what does it matter? If we do the trade, before training camp and it's a bad trade, we're still in the same place if we don't trade you. We're not contenders with you, and we're not contenders with a bad trade. Brooklyn doesn't have that calculus. Their calculus has to be, can we get the most value out of a team that Kevin Durant is willing to go to? Because a team is not going to move heaven and earth for a Kevin Durant that doesn't want to be there and that's already 34 years old. And at the same time, where they want the most value, you have to make a trade that's at least palatable to the team to feel like, hey, we can contend this year with all that we're still trading away because we're bringing in Kevin Durant, right? Because since he's 34 years old, you can't wait and say, okay, we're going to build into next season. We got to be ready right now. And he's already showing signs of slippage, depending on how you view that Boston series. So I don't know. In my situation, I would just take what Phoenix is offering. If they're giving you Cam Johnson, Bridges, Ayton, and 4 picks, 2 swaps, whatever, I would take that, but we'll see. I think that's about it. It's a slow time of year, which is everybody's waiting for football season to start. So this is a slow time of year, NBA. This is where all the guys in the NBA once again get in Vegas. And I'm telling you, it's a hell of an experience, man. You just be walking down the Cosmo. I'm like, oh, there's Dame Lillard. Oh, besides the fact my first year went there, I met John Gruden. He was getting mobbed. I mean, this is before we knew that, he was a Twitter egg pretty much. But he was getting mobbed. People loved Gruden at the time. And I told my cousin, who's diehard Raider, oh my God, I wish I was there. Like I was right next to him. John Gruden, I was right next to him. I was like, that's Gruden. What's up, Gruden? Shook my hand and everything. So Dame Lillard was right across the way from me and my friend. We was like, Dame, Lakers. He said, nah, man, I'm not going to the Lakers. So it's a good experience. But yeah, I guess a lot of people surmise that maybe the trade might happen because Bobby Marks is going to be in Brooklyn, in Vegas. Phoenix GM Jones, Champ, is going to be in Vegas. And, you get in front of a guy, even with technology, face-to-face is still the best way of communication. So you hear people say, even with the Zoom, there's some meetings you do over Zoom, there's some meetings that you need to do in person. This is such a big thing. It might be something that you need to do in person. Let's have dinner. Talk to me. Let me get Josiah in the room. Let's talk. Let's try to get this situation, figured out, man. So, we'll see. So, shout out to my boy RJ. I appreciate the love they showing. Paulo shows out with a 360 dunk. He was telling me about Paulo, and I don't know what it is. I just can't, like, something about college basketball just throws me off. I can't tell if you're going to be good or not. I don't know. Everybody looks good, but it's just like, it's weird, man. Now that I see him and he was doing a lot of similar things in college. Now that I see him in the NBA, and I'm just like, okay, this is going to work. Because you can't guard him with a guard because he's too big and he's too skilled. He's going to put them in the basket. You can't put a forward on him because he's too quick. And then it puts your team in precarious situations because he's going to be the pick and roll player, the primary ball handler on pick and rolls. So what do you do with that? It's going to be hard to bring 2 guys that can handle the action. So I don't know. It's going to be good. They're going to be in a good, really, really good space. I like Orlando quietly. And on this quietly, Orlando has a stacked team. Houston quietly has a stacked team. The Pelicans have a stacked team. I say that to say this. A lot of people are complaining about this era that we're in where superstars leave teams. But every team that a quote unquote superstar has left has been better for it. Everybody thought, oh, Houston, man, they're losing Harden, lost Westbrook. The picks that they traded for Westbrook, they're in trouble. They're never going to return. Jalen Green and what's the name in the same in back successful draft, and Jabari Smith with Segun and a whole gaggle of picks coming. Oh man, Pelicans, they're gonna be such a bad shape. Anthony Davis left, Zion, Brandon Ingram, whole gaggle of picks left. CJ McCollum, Herb Jones, all types of players. Oh man, it's terrible that this guy is leaving this team. They all end up bouncing back pretty quickly. If you're willing to just do the trade and move on, show me the team that's just left for dead, that's been dead and just rotten. That the team, besides LeBron James, Cavs, everybody's team bounces back pretty quickly. When Paul George left the Pacers were fine that year with Victor Oladipo and Sabonis. They were fine. They were good. They were a good team until Oladipo tore his quad. So, I don't know. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. And obviously, it's a great thing because of content. We're in the middle of July. The NBA Finals ended over a month ago. We're still talking NBA. Not just Summer League. We're talking trades. So, random people, if they found you're a basketball fan and try to make conversation, oh, what I heard that KD wants to get traded. It's keeping your name in the zeitgeist. This is how you catch the NFL. So, I'll go ahead and leave it there. All right. Thank you for watching this clip. Do me a favor. Push the button. Hit subscribe. Come on, man. Push it.
Call everybody up.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn button.
You heard what she said.
And do what's right. You heard her. Push the button. The game is a game.
So what's up, man? What's up with you otherwise, The game is a game. Always.